Synchron. Okay, we just have to periodically check the memory to avoid running out of space. Okay. Oh, finally, we get to play some video games again. Hi everybody, and welcome to Noob Hardcore Videogamer episode 2. Well, this morning I almost blew up literally my mind on reasoning on some innovative techniques to provide better, still approximate but very good overall functioning model for the vehicles in the Philanster City 3D rendering and vehicle, a bit vehicle and traffic simulation engine written in JavaScript, which has been live on my website www.nerdofalgorithms.altavista.org since yesterday. It's the 16th of April, year 2016. So let's get to play finally some video games. Well, the solution to the problem presented in episode 1 is, well, just forget it if you haven't seen it, except if you are really interested in this series. But well, we got stuck up. I showed you how badly it was. Well, I'm not wondering why why I stuck up, because the solution was crazy. You essentially had to kill a civilian. That's honestly the worst. Let me, in the meanwhile, choose a semi from where to start. The worst segment of storyline in the whole Tomb Raider series, from 1, 2, 3, and 4 as long as I remember it, and except its last parts, which I didn't play. Because, yeah, just, no, not taking casualties, because casualty is taking is killing a civilian by accident, but just for the continuation of this damn mission, proposing, yeah, you have to kill a civilian. No, there was no other way to write a storyline. Yeah, this. I've already said what I think about this. So you didn't have to combine two resistors to make a tension divider, measure the internal resistance of your device to choose the right values. You didn't have to get or construct a transformator. You didn't have to use a diode. You didn't have to combine diodes and get current passed through it to produce a multiple of the 0.7 voltage that it produces at its basis when current passes through it and gets into the conducting regime fully. No, not all of these, not the big successes of physics in creating the basic theory of electronics in the concentrated element model. You didn't have to use modified nodal analysis. You didn't have to pick up a computer and make a circuit simulation to verify at least minimally functioning battery charger thing. No, you had to go there, kill a civilian, steal a key, and go outside. So, okay, I'm a bit exaggerating, but to let you know, no, it's not that you had to look better, you had to do this, you had to do some combination. No, you had to have the idea to that you have to kill a civilian. Yes, that's the correct way of getting things working. Okay. But I thought that okay, let's think as if this said segment in the storyline of the game weren't even there, and that we will be recompensated by the great things that will happen later in the game. Okay, I've got everything up and running, and I'll show you what the solution was, which I had to look up on the internet and very fine. Let's put this keyboard here and set up the camera. A moment, please. Oh. This is the device to hold the camera on the right angle. So, turn. Okay. Now. Sorry, moment please. One more second. Oh. Let's get it a little bit closer. Okay. Okay. We have got everything in position. And we can start to finally fucking play. Okay, we came from here. And we go here, down in the kitchen. The solution of the enigma was there, and well, I just will quickly run through it to show you that what the solution was and how crazy it is. We have this person working here. As we jumped down, it didn't hear us and do any reaction. I have already showed it before that when we go even as far as this, he doesn't notice us. We have to not yet notice us. We can do pretty off walking before we have any concern with he potentially noticing us. You see, it's almost 100% position-based reaction, and so on. The solution was not here with telephone thing and key. Let's see if he noticed us already. No. It's so much position based that he notices us only when we go here, but with full normal walking. Okay, when we got in his range of action, he will wound us with the knife, but he's still a civilian now. I read that when we get us noticed, then we have to go back, stay a little bit. Stay there and wait a bit, and then go back. Clearly we can see so a little bit from here, maybe if he returned or not to his previous position. And yes, we can see, you see, left lower corner, falling things and so on, doesn't get us noticed. The critical point comes here. You throw and forget this worst segment of the game. Okay, I read on the internet that we have to go so. We have to just a little bit overcome the edge here. Look. Just get below. But just below, and then don't go any forward. Press Ctrl. Comes out the crowbar as a utilizable item, and press Ctrl again to use it. Look what happens. She fucking kills a civilian. Okay, we are here. We can see that we have an large key there. We take a key. Okay. bronze key. And okay, there's nothing else to do here. The first episode just wanted to be a little bit like really hard to see what being a hardcore gamer is. You don't want to go always on the internet to see what's going on. It's not a good thing for a hardcore gamer, but whatever. Let's go through here. We can use the bronze key, not here. Moment please. There it doesn't work, so we go here and use the bronze key. So not the other door, but this one. We don't have any weapons, so you must be careful. We see this room. I'll be a bit faster now because I don't want each episode to become too long. We have just picked up a silver key. This is probably the key for the other door, because this is a closed way, a dead end. Instead of explaining what we do in the game, I just want to talk to you about things that are still concerned with mainly three-dimensional video games and the very fact of for what's like being a hardcore gamer and concerning things. Yeah, we have pistols. We go here because we have now the that other key which probably has to be used here. Bring you quickly through the game so that we arrive at some interesting points. We see if there are people, yeah. I found the bug in the game, look. I found a collision detection error. That's funny. Well, but some hardcore gamers like to even explicitly search for little errors in games, because anyway, most of the times bugs which anyway don't compromise really seriously the playability of a game, the ability to have fun with it, just give, so to speak, in my opinion, just more personality often to the game, more pronounced character. I don't know what we are supposed to do here, if we can jump on or not. Yeah, I jumped here. You can see that we can't do anything significant here. Another interesting error. The collision detection and handling. Well, okay, useless to say. We don't have the key for this. Anyway, maybe the door, as I can see, is already open because actually I don't know. But we don't have anything interesting there, and we can't interact with this. We can go there, here, or we can go there, here. Let's try to open this. Open. Let's go in here first. As I told you, I try to get as fast as I can through the game so that I show you how it progresses after that really bad branch of evolution of the storyline. At least in my opinion, it's that. She didn't pick up anything so far, but let's see. Let's try first with this. Okay, she didn't pick up anything. Now be very careful because we have a room very similar to the one that we have already seen in the first episode. we have to be very careful to see if these things have a handle. This one is very difficult to see that this thing here has a handle. Yes, however, incredible, the gameplay is so complex that we can interact also with things, these openable net-wired doors, also from below instead of just from above. We can jump, attract, and just yeah, get attracted and go. Now, before going here, I'll show you what's there before us here. We have to be careful because we don't have much life here. We can go down here. We can go here. We don't have any keys. We can't go here. Okay. We don't have any entrance card to operate this card access things. So we have to go back. We came from here. Remember? We can still go here. Very, very careful with where you fall because you don't have to lose life on these things. There are other things which are more worth losing some life on. Oh, let's go on. Very careful with enemies. If these doors don't have any rotatable thing, usually it means that or they open from the other side or they just can't be opened. We have to be careful with enemies here. We have a corridor. We can go left or forward. Fuck! At least we got some ammo. In these cases, it's even more appropriate to just avoid getting into frontal combat by trying to watch first where we can go. This is a room similar from the one we came from in the first episode, but it's not the same. You can make this a statement from the fact that we have both handles here and here. Can you see it? I hope so. Very careful not to engage in combats with low life. We have at least a life. A medipack. We immediately use it. We still have our battery, which has here 2 poles. It rotates and it's represented with a minus after the string of text which identifies it. We can't interact with these probably because that would be really the worst of the coming so far. At least earned us a medipack. We come back, we open this. We immediately manage to kill him without losing too much life. Okay. Remember this place. We have this sort of missiles at side left and right as well. Considering left and right when we come in. From where we open the door. Okay, we go on. Without losing time. Let's go on here. Immediately be ready to engage in combat. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. By arriving already shooting at the jump, we can maybe earn some time from the reaction time of these things, these enemies, which anyway we have to say none of them are civils because they all have weapons and shoot first, so that's That's all normal in these kinds of action games. We have to kill with non-civilians. Well, here we can't do anything, but it's still nice to look at. The thing to do is to open all these doors, see what there is. Remember us very well, this corridor bringing to 4 practically all alike rooms. Oh, did we kill him? Okay, now see. We pick up here a device. I'll point it out to you, which is very important. Okay, let's read for everything we pick up what it is. Suit console. As you could see in the menu, it's similar to this thing here in reserve, or how to say it in English. Look at this one. This one. Can you see it? This one. Let's go on. We don't find anything here. Useless to go on. We must make sure, for going back if needed at all, to open all the 4 doors. This one here, this one, is the only left closed. Is the recording sound okay? We open it and get ready to engage in combat. Nothing, okay. You say here we have a closed suit. Here we have an open one. Okay. This one hasn't got the console, but anyway, everything what is not closed, it's worth interacting with that. At this stage of the game, it's proper to try to use everything selectively. Don't trust too much the fact of pressing Control and getting then the menu come out with the stuff that can interact with the item at hand. With this we can't interact. Here it doesn't give any clue what we have to do. We have to be careful to check if we can combine anything new with anything old. So far we see no ways of combination. Clearly the crowbar here is as useless as hell. Okay, so only thing is to go back. As soon as we find shotgun, we have 6 wide shot ammos. We go back. Okay, I'm trying to be as fast as I can. I've been a little bit slow and inefficient at the beginning. Remember, we have already been here because we don't have the card for this, access card for this, and we don't have the key for this. So let's go on and be always ready to engage in combat. We go through probably, yes, we have already been here, and we go back to see what we can find here, to then, if needed, go again through that eating room and enter the door which there was open. Even if not needed, it's worth checking every route whenever possible, because surprises can happen, and it's possible by going through every possible route to find extra items, extra resources, ammunition, medipacks, whatever, anything is good. Useless to say that we can't interact with any of these ventilators. This is really getting a bit long. I even don't insist too much. We come here to another net wired block of thing with this handle on it, which clearly lets us know that it can be opened. So we get down here. Maybe we can find... Oh, there's someone. Look, as I said, we always have to be ready to engage in combat. I made a mistake. Be very careful in these cases. So we use the last medipack we had. We must pick up everything we can. We found a battery. Just picked up a battery with a plus sign and an outward pointing thing that the other battery with the minus sign didn't have. Well, this certainly must be some kind of special battery, because batteries with 4 poles and can be just divided into plus and minus, well, that must be a hell of a battery. As I told you, we have to always see if any new item can be combined with something which we already had. Easy, combine with suit console. Suit console doesn't work. See these other options? Very confusing, but you have to be careful. You have to try every combination. Combine with battery minus. Suit battery. Okay. We have combined the 2 batteries to form one. Suit console. See if the combined one can be combined with anything. No. Okay, let's see if we can pick up some resources from here. Nothing. Waste of time. Here. Nothing. We see around. These rooms, these many rooms which look very much alike, are really confusing. Be careful to be ready to engage in combat. We came from here. The presence of this access card insertion point lets us have the intuition that this door opened spontaneously because we came from the other side and someone attacked us, and we can think immediately that we have done a closed circuit. We came from here, we went up there, here, came from here, and we arrived here. Here. Okay. And this door opened. We were attacked. And yeah, here again there. We have now, as a last option, we just make sure to try every route. This route is something we hadn't tried yet. Save the game. Okay, we can go left and we can go right. Let's go right. This is closed. We have an access card console for which we don't have any access card. So we go left and get ready to get into combat. There isn't any real tactics to come out of a combat unwounded, but one can try. We have a telephone here with which we can't interact. This door is closed. We can't do anything with it. Then we can go right. The door is closed. The door has a handle which can be rotated, and we rotate it. Climb on here, and we climb on. As you can see, the game is getting extremely boring. The mind literally blows up by just keeping a mental map of all the 10 corridors which look all alike. And we get here. It's... yeah. Okay. We have to be very careful about not to miss out any item that we can pick up. We are here in a sort of reserve. We get a shotgun. We have now 6 normal and 6 wide shot ammos. First, use out the normal ammo. Equip. If possible, be spare. Try to spare with a shotgun, but anyways, it's more important to spare with life. Now, we don't have any light flares, but clearly it's always worth going on and checking if we can pick up something useful for us. Remember, in fact, a little bottle on which is written Aqualung. We can combine it. Let's try to combine it. Only option to combine it with is a suit console. Let's say yes. We have a suit console in which we have that little bottle in. Now, no other options of combination are available, so let's go on and see if we can have some medipacks or ammo around. So we go on here, and on the corner here we can see a medipack. So let's go there here to safely arrive at the medipack, which is so precious in the present situation. Let's make a step forward, get a medipack, and use a quick way to get down. The suit console, something similar to the suit console stuff, we could see in the room where we had those sort of water submersion suits there. We have to arrive there. This room. Go right and try to arrive as quickly as possible. If I remember correctly, it's here at the left. And try to get back as fast as possible to the site where there were those water submersion suits or things that looked like that. Now, make sure to have the shotgun equipped. We are here, do you remember? Just go directly to the suit which is not closed. It's not this one. How much annoying. It's here. Now our console has been equipped with, okay, suit console, use. Very careful to double check if you can interact with something. Even after you have interacted, you have to go back and press once again. Suit battery, use. And now be very careful with the cinematic that comes. I'm getting a little bit bored, eh? Just to let you know that my main concern is that you have fun, but well, if it's that battery to run that mechanical stuff, that must really be a heck of a battery. So it must have been, certainly has been worth the effort to get it together. Okay. We are presented with a completely new scenario. We have come from There upstairs, where we can go now. I try to let you have fun, and we are here. Apparently, we have unlimited oxygen, so that's not a concern. You don't have any oxygen reserve bars. Let's just make a small and slow trip around this piece of metal here. We can't go. We have to make sure first where is it possible to go and where it's not possible to go. Here it's not possible to go up because the corrector is blocked by some mysterious force. We can't go really under here, but before triggering accidentally some errors in the game which may get us stuck up again, may potentially stuck up as let's just save it. Okay. While I let you admire a little bit this scenario, I prepare what I have to say now. It's very interesting in the game, and it's certainly worth having done the effort to come so far to show you that in this game we have lighting effect. Try to study it, observe it as well as you can, how the lighting functions from close, how it interacts, how it shows off depending on the kind of texture, the angulature of the different polygons, triangles in this case, making up the surface, which is our environment. It's not a surface, it's clearly a non-convex. Yeah, let's treat it as a surface. It's a non-convex polyhedron because we have also this shaped thing of fuck around. Look how the lighting behaves a little bit. That's very impressive in this case, and I wanted to talk to you about it. And this is the old school classical way of... Wait, don't shoot me, bitchin'. What the fuck are you doing? How do you dare shooting me, motherfucker? Okay, this is going to get really, really awkward because what's that? A rose? A rose again, a motherfucking bitch of a rose, which is useless again. Now be very careful not to get hit by those missiles shoot at you by that submarine. Sometimes very difficult to return from a site where you get in because there is this very, very poor modeling of water flux forces. We try to go left here and maybe have some damn pace to give us the time to talk a little bit about something important. We see here the old school kind of lighting, directional lighting. It is kind of lighting which doesn't go 4-piece teridians, that is full in every direction, but it's limited to a cone. Okay, it's limited to cast these imaginary light rays, as they are called, along a solid angle. Now, but we see that, yeah, clearly here the light, how much light arrives at a certain site is approximated with how much light arrives at a certain triangle considered as a whole. The texture thing, it looks smooth, the interpolation, but it's because there is interpolation. As when we, without textures, put color to vertex array with OpenGL and the triangle array. It's considered that each vertex has a certain color, and it's interpolated across a single triangle according to the Guru triangle. It's as if you had been trying to color the triangle, but you color it, you put, you correct the color according to how much light you want, and you put the texture on. That's it, very simple. The old school kind of lighting is impressive, but there are some things to be considered. It works correctly and does a correct prediction of where how much light arrives only in the case when we have a light source, even a directional one, because light on the inside wall of a convex polyhedron. When we have an obstacle in front, correct behavior is not granted. Maybe it's considered, but that's not part of old school light modeling, because if that had been done correctly, the correct light, in the fully linear optics approximation, light would come correctly at every triangle, even when there are obstacles in front, such as here. Oops. We would have automatically correct shadow simulation, which is not the case. That's correct lighting with shadowing, which ideally coincides, the two things coincide. The general algorithm of lighting simulation in the linear approximation domain clearly does lighting simulation and shadow simulation simultaneously, because the two problems are the same, come under the same roof in that approximation. Here we see that maybe here we can see sometimes that the obstacles seem to prevent the light from coming where it's covered, but this apparent correctness can be obtained by customizing the handcrafted level, so that we have some convex pieces, cuts of convex polyhedron, and we say how we define how the light should come from one to the other, and we can so find a workaround. Modern school full shadow enabled lighting is a complex subject. It's a complex subject. It's certainly the apex of three-dimensional graphics, because it's very, very complicated to do it well, and there are performance issues and so on. There are approximated ways to do it. Most of the times, in games such as Doom 3, we software packages which provide shadow and lighting simulation simultaneously usually use an approximated way, because a polygonal, mathematically exact way of dealing with it would be extremely slow, and so on. And we have to go back, because we saw there a ditch where we could go below. Don't let him turn in the right direction. Bitch. And yeah, and so on. Now, about polygonal lighting. No, about shadow and lighting simulation. I can find some peace finally here, and talk a little bit about some things of scientific interest. That's what I wanted to say about difficulties, and also amazing things about even approximated and exact shadowing and lighting models in the linear optics domain. Now, what remains to us is to define what we mean by linear optics. Linear optics essentially considers as if a light source just emitted imaginary light rays which arrive perfectly at the target and stop at the target. Very fine. Refraction may be considered, but considering a single index of refraction independently of the color of the light source, which is not the case of the physical optics, and thus in most packages clearly refraction is not modeled, but even if we were just independently of the color of the light ray frequency in the visible light domain of frequencies, one light passing material, fully dielectric, fully transparent, has one index of refraction. Stop. So there are no considered such effects as different refraction index of a fully transparent thing as a function of the light frequency, this is as a function of the color, and there are no effects considered whatsoever of diffraction, interference, and combined effects of this physical phenomena such as iridescence. Okay, that's linear optics. This old school way of treating light works. One can use some approximate models. Here one can experiment with trying to go behind an obstacle that hides your light source and see if covers your light source and go see if the light arrives beyond. But adequate level design can get you the illusion that it works. It's difficult to tell by experimenting if it's correct, but old school lighting, assuming that your light source arrives, your light source illuminates only, even if with directional lighting, only at a triangles composing the inside of a convex polyhedron or the outside of a set of convex polyhedra, but where there is only one polyhedron and one polyhedron cannot act as a covering obstacle for the others. But it's still good. It's impressive, it's everything, and that's it. That's impressive, but it has its limitations. Let's go back to the game. One can learn a lot from playing three-dimensional video games because one can confront how the different, how in different video games, different technological level or different direction of specialization of the technology try and manage finally to implement an imitation of real world. But it's the thing of how much and how and what can be learned from playing three-dimensional video games beyond having fun with them, of course, is for the next episode. And let's just end this episode by trying to run through this very difficult part. Here, she picks up something, and now happens some disaster, and we'll have to do a quick run, and I don't know where. I had to do some practice with this part before deciding to record, but we have to go back as quickly as possible because we have oxygen running out. The game gave no information on what's next. when we started off, we couldn't go back where we came from before using the suit. We acquired this thing, but we have to check if we acquired something else. We have this shaft flares. What does it mean, shaft flare? Spear of Destiny. Shaft flare. What is a shaft flare? Maybe we should try out the shaft flare here. I'm going to show you what a shaft flare does. It just goes away and does nothing. Look. Shaft flare. I don't know what it's for. So far I haven't understood what those shaft flares are for, but imagine it's okay. We got through the problem. It was just a fast run, another cinematic. I didn't just figure out what those shaft flares are for, but whatever. Probably it's not so important. No audio again, sorry, I just don't have the time to replicate the content of the speech to you. Well, that must be interesting. What went on? Oh, well, I don't know what happened. Now save the game, but for this episode, I think it's over. Well, let's try a small run for you to show you that after all, I really can't figure out what happened. I don't know. The light effects are great. The graphics here are great. Maybe it's that you have to go back here, but let's try. Some enemies again. Again, but can they stop? Problem is that it's extremely difficult to figure out where you have to go. Here, some of the passages were closed, so it's so we can at least wish that from now on the game is really a single tunnel route. Because at this point I think that although a real hardcore gamer, I've got really bored with what fire. What's going on? I think at this point it's really worth trying out all the possibilities, because these graphical effects are really great. They just blow my mind. Let's even try to see if we can go in. We can't, because maybe you can manage by jumping. Yes, she managed to do it by jumping, and the cinematic went on. But I was just going by guess. And what I can think of is that if you touch the water... No, I don't know. Let's save the game. Get into the water. She dies. Okay. Perfect. Just... I even wouldn't have any motivation to even try to count how many times I went across this room. Again, the same story. Let's go on towards the fire. Oh my god. Look at it. End of record. Hope you liked it. Another enigma, but still more inviting than the previous one. Hope you enjoyed it. This was Simon, alias the Nerd of Algorithms. Bye, and have a nice day.